Welcome to the ESR Academy Series, Round 6, the official halfway point of the season, actually. This is the last track that they will visit, and the Redux begins in 2 weeks when we go back to Brands Hatch. With me on commentary is the dulcet sounds of Paul Riccobene Radio.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend.
He has a new microphone, and I get to make fun of him. Now, let's be honest, I can still make fun of him, but it will have less logical grounding.
Yeah, I mean, making fun of everybody is pretty much what we do here, right?
Really, that's more Byron's job. I just make fun of people that open the door for me. So we got 15 cars so far. I think there were 16, so I think somebody's missing from the time charts right now. Jack Simpson currently the fastest from Dimitri Simeonidis. Big performance from Dimitri Simeonidis up there in second place. Had a really good run, and I think it was the last race of the Suzuka round, and has really carried that momentum through. So looking forward to seeing what he can do. Rochelle Guerin, Liam Curtin, kind of normal faces up there. Elliot Barron in fifth place. It'll be nice to see him actually race without losing connection. That would be ideal. Of course, those who don't remember, he collided with the wall at Suzuka and then lost connection. So hopefully we get to, actually see him race this time. Zach Hemstrom, the championship leader, is in sixth place. Bit low, considering Zach was absolutely dominating the leaderboard. So to see him that far down is a bit odd, because he does not have any ballast. The 100 kilos that he was carrying at Suzuka, that's gone. So a bit weird. James Butler, Douglas DeGroat, Javier Perez-Torres, Vic Nash back on the grid. Welcome back, Vic. AJ Jesse, Dixon Hurst, newcomer Jonas Belaine in 13th place ahead of John Peachett. Another newcomer is Neo Anderson, and Toby Howard, of course, bring up the rear. Toby, unfortunately, taking a sabbatical after this round from the Academy, so we won't see him for a little bit, which is, that's a little disappointing. We love Javi. We love having Toby on the grid.
Yeah, it's a shame. I know he's got a lot going on his plate over there. Hopefully everything's okay.
We wish him all the best and hope to see him soon. So car-wise, the white and red one in the background there, that is Jonas. So that was a nice little segue there. Unfortunately, Neo Anderson only owns one car, and it's Javi Perez-Torres' car, so they are in identical cars. That'll be, moderately confusing, I suppose. Javi has offered to switch cars if need be, and I guess we'll see how confusing it is in commentary. And
that was nice of Javi. Well, we know Javi. He's easy to spot. He's usually in the wall somewhere, right?
Oh, that's a little harsh.
Just trying out the new microphone.
This is Javi's first race with the whole new install and trying to do everything with his system, which has been gunking up lately and crashing. So hopefully he makes it to the end of all three races, and that in itself would probably be a victory at this point.
For sure. Technical issues are the worst. I'm seeing quite a spread here on the... are these times accurate on the leaderboard?
I believe these times are accurate. I think, unfortunately, Laguna Seca is just one of those tracks where you're going to get that, because just a slight error when it comes to line has such a huge impact on your time. So it's very easy to kind of get left behind. And, of course, we've also been at Suzuka lately, which were really short tracks. And as a result, we got used to kind of like really tight grid, which probably just even under the best of circumstances is not something you're going to get at Laguna.
Yeah, Laguna's brutal. I mean, there's no runoff. You need to be perfect at all times to maximize this track for speed.
And just unlike every other track we go to for the Academy, this is more of a proper Grand Prix track. Like, you can do endurance racing here and that kind of thing. So it's just that longer track is obviously going to stretch the grid out a little bit.
Oh, and endurance here sounds like the worst.
It's exciting to see. The World Challenge Americas did GT3 endurance racing here a couple of times. I think it was like 2 years ago. It was a fantastic race.
I got 20 minutes here.
There are the grids. Jack Simpson on the pole position. Toby Howard at the back of the pack. Not much change from that rundown I did, although Douglas DeGroat up to fourth place. And we are pretty much... I don't think we're going to see any real alterations here towards the end. And I was incorrect that there was somebody... Oh, no, there was someone missing, because we're up to 16 now.
Yeah, 16.
I just don't know who actually was the person that was missing. Liam Curtin snags 4th place back from Douglas DeGroat. There.
Happy to see Demetrius up at the top there. I worked with him a little bit this week. I know he also followed Stoffmeal around. So I'm curious to see how he pans out over the weekend here.
Indeed, a solid front row start within about a half second back of Jack Simpson, who enjoy it, Jack. You're getting Ballast next round. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
So the grid forming up at this point. So what do you have to say about Laguna Seca here in the 30 or so seconds that we have before the race?
It's one of those tracks which is terrible to lap, but actually can be quite fun to race. Like I said, there's no runoff, so you need to be so precise at all times. I mean, it's just deadly if you make a mistake here.
Plus, you got that whole sand out there, which means dirty tires when you come back on the grid and so on. So there's a lot more problems, a lot more punishment and mistakes than we've seen at some of the other rounds. And we got red lights, and we're off. And a bad start by Liam Curtin there is going to cost him 4th place.
Somebody was frozen.
Indeed. Oh, Liam in the wall.
Oh.
That was reviewed and kind of a 50-50, and also Liam saying that he had some significant connection issues at the start. That's the brakes, I guess. Demetrius Simeonitis holding off Rochelle Guerin there around the outside of the Andretti Hairpin. Retains 2nd position.
Everybody clean through the first turn there. That was nice to see.
Indeed, it was a pretty low penalty affair, giving him a slight spoiler there, although Douglas DeGroot kind of mounting Zach Hemstrom a little bit there. And they head up to turn 6. That's Elliot Barron in the background, and then Javi Perez Torres. DeGroot gets 4th place back. But on the switchback, I think that's going to favor Hemstrom because he's got the inside line hitting into the kink, which is... Oh, nope. He gave the spot back, which is not a bad idea.
I was going to say, that was a really good decision.
I do not like going through side-by-side through the kink. That is not something I'd want to do.
Especially, what are we, 50 seconds into race 1? You don't need to do that.
Early days yet. Elliot Barron in 6th place there. Javi. Liam Curtin is still sliding back, so I believe he's probably suffering still from the lag, unfortunately. And now behind Dixon Hurst. Neo Anderson had a pretty good start. He's up to 10th. I do believe our first Jamaican racer here in the ESR community, so welcome, Neo.
That's awesome.
Interesting flag combination. Very few repeat flags, actually, on the grid, which is interesting. Big Nash slipping to the back. We've lost Jonas Blade, or Blaine. I think I mentioned that. He, unfortunately, he had the big crash dump at the start of the race. Pink spike over 500, so hopefully we can fix that for next time around.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it happened after qualifying.
Indeed, couldn't even get back in. He was quite heartbroken on the matter. And
yeah, I know he put a lot of time in prepping for this, so he was excited for his race.
He's excited. It was very disappointing, but unfortunately, not one of those things you just can't do anything about as a server admin. It's sort of a complete restart of the server, and particularly as we were up against the clock with the enduro coming after this, wasn't really possible. Elliot Barron in 6th place behind. A lot of closeness between Douglas DeGroot and Zach Hemstrom. And Hemstrom to the lead for the time being, but oh, Doug, no, that's not the corkscrew, Doug. That's not how you get through the corkscrew.
Well, it is one way to get through it.
Yeah, but it's not a good way. Rochelle Guerin in 3rd place, trying to earn some spots back or close the gap to Zach Hemstrom for the second half of the season. We're still a little bit undecided whether Rochelle's going to get herself some ballast. So, much like Jack, probably needs to make the best of this round to...
Liam.
Whoa! Yeah, Liam Curtin
having some fun back
again. There. Yeah.
Is that all network?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you're having network problems, they'll emphasize any mistakes you make in driving. So, could be. Liam's internet has been a problem in the past, of course. His Academy debut was exceedingly short because his connection just gave out. So we haven't necessarily managed to fix that, which, I mean, and I don't know really what we can do to fix it, unfortunately. our ping settings are at their most allowing that Race Room allows. And to be honest, I don't know if I'd really want to go much higher than the 500 ping that is allowed.
Yeah, that in itself is a whole different discussion, right?
Yeah. Elliot Barron now on the tail of Hemstrom. I'm a little
Butler still carrying 100 kilograms as well?
Hemstrom is not. He is ballast free.
Butler is full, though, correct?
Butler is full. Butler is the only ballasted car in the field today.
Oh, he's the only one with ballast.
Because Gustav Ekstrom is missing in action. Not really, he's side down, so we're all good. But not present today. And this is the last round before we do the whole ballast reset where everyone comes on. And we'll probably talk about that a little bit at the end, and we'll get Paul Riccobene on the record with his ballast recommendations.
Ballast.
James Butler on the tail of Neo Anderson. Neo Anderson's having a pretty good race. I mean, didn't show much in qualifying, but he's up to 8th place. So shout out there. Other people making mistakes, and he's taking advantage.
Smart driving.
Sometimes that's all it needs. Just keep your nose clean and you're good to go.
That is so much harder than it sounds.
It is. It is. I say that as if it's an easy thing, and it is hard. But I do find that some of the mentality when it comes to driving, at least people who are a little bit new to sim racing, they kind of feel a pressure to make things happen that just effectively really isn't there. And I think...
a lot of us go through that, right? And then eventually, hopefully, you settle down a little bit.
Indeed, hopefully you do. Rochelle Guerin definitely went through that phase. She's been a little bit more patient at Suzuka, and some good results followed. Not sure that she's really had any opportunity to improve on this 3rd place, though, as I think Simeonitis has more or less had a pretty consistent, about a 2nd lead on her for most of this.
Well, she's keeping pace. We still got 9 minutes to go here, so plenty of time. Curious to see how it pans out.
James Butler closing in on Neo Anderson towards the corkscrew, and not gonna lie, that would make me a little bit nervous to have James Butler closing up behind me at the corkscrew. James can be a little nosy.
He's so mean to you, James. He really is.
I do it to help. James Butler looking down the inside of the final turn. I think Anderson will be able to shut that door. Yeah. And Dixon Hurst with a mistake in front of them, so that this could become a 3-car battle very quickly. Neo going for the move there on Dixon around the outside of Andretti. Little contact. Gets the job done. So he's got himself a buffer between him and the ballasted car of James Butler. John Picha rounding off the top 10 right now, so go John.
Butler going around the outside of Dixon.
He's got the inside line here to turn 3 too. I think that's a done deal. And Butler does get through. Little physicality, but nothing too bad.
I was just gonna say that's nice stuff though. From the Academy, 2 wide through turn 3 there. That's great.
No, the Academy drivers have shown great improvement of racecraft all season.
I was just gonna say, from where we were a season ago to what I'm watching these days, this is a whole different group of driving. Very good to see.
Butler also getting past Neo Anderson, so Butler showing great opportunity.
He's on the dirt there. He's going to lose the run.
Yeah, but I don't know if Neo wants to make an issue of this at the corkscrew. We'll see. Neo does have the inside line. Oh,
that was unfortunate.
That's maybe why you don't make an issue of it at the corkscrew. Dixon Hurst is like, thank you very much. I'll take my 7th place back. Dixon, of course, driving Byron's favorite car, the Bonk Motorsports car.
Bonk.
And Neo has rejoined in 10th, it appears. Ahead of Toby Howard, but behind John Picha. So James Butler is now the meat in a 3 Amigo bread sandwich. We'll see what happens now.
He's looking aggressive in this race, though. I don't think it's going to be long before he tries another move on Dixon.
For sure. I mean, he did out-qualify both of them by a reasonable margin, so one would think he's got a pace advantage. But that ballast does make it a little bit harder to make your overtake stick.
As a few of you are about to find out.
In the meantime, no changes up in the top 6. It looks like that's pretty stagnant right now. Simpson, Simeonitis, Guerin, Hemstrom, Barron, and Perez Torres.
Looks like
Dixon's...
Simeonitis actually opened up the gap to Guerin. It's two plus seconds now.
Yeah. Ooh, nice move there by Dixon. He went defensive, got the inside line, but we're coming up to the kink, and that means that both these drivers have to make a decision how much they really want to force this right now. And Dixon decides not to.
I don't blame Dixon at all.
Yeah, going too wide through the kink is that's a tough ask.
I have never had it work successfully.
I've seen it work successfully, and I've been involved in it. Richard Higgs actually made a beautiful overtake on me through the kink back in the day, but I do believe I still had words with him afterwards about, don't do that! That was during our time period where Richard was getting taken out in, like, every race. And I'm not going to say Richard's a bad driver or anything. I think Richard's a perfectly fine driver, but his spidey sense was very limited as to what was dangerous. And John Picha now working to get past his fellow 3 Amigo teammate, Dixon Hurst. He's got the inside of the Andretti hairpin, so this should work out for him. Mind you, if Dixon can stay with them... No, I was going to say, if Dixon can stay with them, he might be able to get the inside in turn 3, but John's got that as well. But did slow down enough that allows Dixon to get back out ahead, but the inside's going to go back to John here into turn 4. And then I feel I need to make my point here. They consider this turn 5. That right there. That's a little sad. It's just a little curve.
Well, turn 1 is that weird barely kink in the main straight.
That's true. That is true.
Simpson is 6 seconds up on second place.
Yeah, he is vanishing in the distance. Mind you, you know what? It's always possible that Jack could screw that up because, and I'm again trying to provide some coaching for everyone. Jack does have a little bit of the Christoph Verstappen syndrome where he gets out in front and he's still pushing like his life depends upon it, and that does leave a certain level of mistake percentage that he may be better off taking away. But we'll see what happens in this race. Zach Hemstrom is catching up to Rochelle. Again, sounded like a little bit like a broken record because Hemstrom, I mean, he's in 4th place. He's all over the back of a podium spot. I have to say it, though, the leaderboard time he put up was really, really good. So I would say that this has to be a bit of a disappointing run so far.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be considerably higher on the qualifying sheet.
So needs to turn that leaderboard time into a little bit more race pace. John Picha up on the back of Dixon Hurst. We've seen this battle a couple of times. Not really much happening right this second. We've lost Liam Curtin. His internet connection, by the way, has given up. Douglas DeGroot retired very early in the race, so we're down to 13 cars. AJ Jesse and I'd like the camera to shift over to AJ Jesse and Toby Howard, who were quite close together a little while ago, and Vic Nash and Toby Howard, or Vic Nash and Neo Anderson, quite close together. So I'd like to get a look at that battle. The camera, unfortunately, will do it at once.
Yeah, it's Hemstrom going into the pits.
Now the deal there was Vic Nash. Something happened to your front end, Vic, and it's probably not making that car well, I mean, we've seen these cars actually drive reasonably well despite heavy damage. Part of the reason why we have chosen them, if we're being honest, is they're quite forgiving. Hemstrom did not fuel up before the race, unfortunately, so a miscalculation on the fuel load. Forcing him into the pits and losing spots to Elliott Barron and Javi. Maybe James Butler? We'll see. We'll see where he pops out.
That front end is growing on me.
What, the beat-up front end?
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Well, there is James Butler indeed overtaking Zach Hemstrom, as does Dixon Hurst. And I imagine John Picha will as well, so... I mean, on the bright side, that's going to be a great reverse grid position for Hemstrom, but on the dark side, that's a lot of points taken off the table.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be much happier starting in the back than starting in the front for race 2. Look at Javi running a nice quiet 5th place up there. It's good to see.
Javi, the master of the quiet but good result. As Hemstrom up on the back of John Picha. And if you're John, you probably don't want to fight that. You know what? With a minute left, I was gonna say know who you're actually fighting with, but with a minute left, I probably would have tried to keep Hemstrom behind me, just because of the we're on the last lap, so a lot of the usual rules that I advise when it comes to defensive driving kind of go out the window.
If it's they're gonna have another lap to go still, though, right? I mean, so he's got a lap and a half, 2 laps to finish. But yeah, if it's the last couple of corners, I would fight for it.
So Hemstrom's next target will be Dixon Hurst, 7th place. And Vic Nash, despite that damage, has actually cut the gap down to Neo Anderson to 0.6 of a second. So that should be interesting. Hopefully we'll get a look at that fight as it finishes up. And Hemstrom sniffing for a way past Dixon Hurst. Okay, so we will get one more lap. Yeah.
Right, he's going to take the inside in turn 2.
Yeah, he'll try and go for it in the Andretti Hairpin, and I imagine he should be able to get that. Let's see what he does. Very aggressive move to the inside. Easily getting through.
Yeah, I think Dixon just gave him that.
Didn't really fight that. Which, you know what? Somewhat of a good idea. You do have John Picha right there, looking to take advantage if there's a contact. Well, and also Hemstrom may just be that much faster through the Andretti Hairpin as well. I know the Andretti Hairpin along with the Corkscrew are probably your 2 most likely spots to lose ground on this track, because they're 2 most difficult, most multifaceted turns. So that could just be a raw pace differential as well.
Yeah, there's a ton of time you can make up through turn 2 there, depending on the lines you take. I think people don't realize how much speed you can actually carry through that section.
Indeed. Ooh, a little bit of a cut there on the Corkscrew from Zach. Not saying like a cut track penalty or anything, but a little risky considering he's not real. Speaking
somebody
of risky,
in the background there.
John.
Is that John?
That's John taking a little bit of a ride into the sand. But it will be Zach Hemstrom coming home in 7th place. Jack Simpson, your race 1 winner, from Demetrius Simeonitis and Rochelle Guerin. I believe that is Simeonitis' 2nd podium of the season, so good work there.
Nice. Practice paid off for him.
And Javi Perez Torres, for the first time in 6 races, gets to the end of the race without disconnecting. So, ideal for him. Takes a solid 5th place. Vic Nash will start on pole for race 2. Neo Anderson slipped back to 12th, so I wonder, I think I just caught him sideways in the Corkscrew, so might have our answer as to what happened to Neo Anderson there. Hopefully not contact with Vic Nash. Hopefully that was a self-induced spin as opposed to a assisted spin.
Was he at the bottom of the Corkscrew? On the
AJ
inside?
Jesse coming through! Vic Nash screwed up the last corner, and there goes pole for race 2.
What just happened there?
Vic went really wide in the last corner, and AJ Jesse snags race 2 pole position.
It looks like he came from the grandstands.
That's why you never stop racing. Things can go your way.
I literally could not figure out what I was watching.
I mean, it has to be said, AJ Jesse just went from 12th place there on the last lap to 10th, which is reverse grid pole. So it's why you don't stop.
It's hilarious. It's awesome.
Why you don't stop. So fantastic work there. Actually, might have been 13th at the start of the lap because I think he overtook Toby Howard not too long ago. So there you go. Bit of an early Christmas present there for Mr. AJ Jesse. So who are you people to watch for in this race here?
Well, of course we got Simpson, right? I mean, curious to see. Obviously, he's got some incredible pace here. So be curious to see how he can work his way through the field. Simeonitis was pretty quick, so also curious about that. And Hemstrom, I'm curious to see with a full tank. Maybe he's warmed up. I think he's got the pace. He's starting towards the front now.
Here we go. And AJ Jesse has the lead at the start. Not a good start there from John Picha, the other front row car, and he's slipping back. That's allowed James Butler up into 3rd place. It'll be interesting what Butler can do. And Peach going back down the inside. Butler getting shuffled back a little bit. Nice move down the inside by Rochelle Guerin on Javi Perez Torres.
Hemstrom on the move quickly.
Well, Hemstrom wants to get on the move before the people that he probably views more as his competition get involved here. Because as long as he's behind AJ Jesse, he cannot pull away from the pack. No disrespect to AJ, but just not a frontline driver. Contact between Butler and Hemstrom. And Douglas DeGroot off in the background. I was going to say Douglas DeGroot might be a guy to look for, but now he's in the sand. It's not great. Hemstrom rejoins in 10th.
He's going to be fuming right now, so this will be interesting to watch how he handles it.
Indeed, up on the tail of Neo Anderson and Toby Howard up to 8th place. Go Toby. Neo, that is not the Corkscrew. Right there, my friend.
I find that the entry to the Corkscrew in Race Room difficult to judge, at least in VR. I don't know why. In other games, I don't have as much of an issue as I do here.
I mean, it's somewhat of an issue in all games, just because of the elevation changes. Obviously, I find it honestly to be one of the most just difficult turns. Not to completely get wrong or anything, but just one of the few times where you're actually playing with your seat. Frankly, to get a good view of it. Elliot Barron going for the lead. We didn't really talk about Elliot Barron in the first race, but he took home a pretty solid 4th place. So
that's nice.
It'll be interesting to see what he can do now that he's hit the front. And he's got that kind of, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but he's got AJ Jesse, James Butler, and John Picha, who are just not really race-winning cars to protect him. So if I'm him, I'm going full-on qualifying laps here to try to build the lead.
How did he qualify?
I want to say 6th place, I think.
That's not bad.
6th or 7th.
That puts him in a pretty good position up front.
And here's James Butler looking to get past AJ Jesse. Don't force it, the King James.
Please don't, right? Got Karen in 5th. Curious to see what she can do.
She's up with this group. There's a bit of a gap forming back to Javi P, though, which is interesting. I thought Javi would be sticking with this group. It's not, ridiculously back or anything, but doesn't seem to have the same get up and go that the top 5 do.
Yeah, it's just big enough where you're going to lose that contact and just makes it impossible to catch back up almost.
Looking to the inside. Rochelle's going for it against John. And I think she's got it. She's got the inside line into turn 1 and 2, which should allow her to get it. She's going to go for Butler as well. Nope, Butler moves across to cover. Good move.
Whoa, that was super ballsy what she just did.
And she's going to the outside of the Andretti Hairpin. And she does not have it yet. She's got the inside to turn 3 if she wants it. Let's not go for it. But she did pick up a spot over Peaches, so 4th place for Rochelle Guerin right now.
And that's going to allow Javi to close the door all that battling. He's within half a second again.
Indeed, Javi is back in this. Hemstrom's right behind Javi, so that'll be interesting. Where's Jack Simpson? Down in 9th. What's going on there? Round the outside, Rochelle.
And Simeonitis in 10th. What's going on?
Indeed. They have not made great progress at all. Rochelle's up to 3rd.
I wonder if there's some contact there.
Having disposed of James Butler. Well, there was that accident with Douglas DeGroot, which has taken him out of the race, so maybe they got caught up in that. Oh, scary moment for Butler. Now Rochelle's after AJ Jesse, and AJ made that real easy, unfortunately.
It's so easy to go off track there.
Oh, James Butler is eager to get past Mr. Jesse. I think they had a good fight at Suzuka, so it's good to see that this is coming about. Although Javi P senses an opportunity and makes his move.
He's taking advantage of all those little bumps. You don't think too much. There's a lot of little contacts happening. It slows you guys down.
Slows the momentum down, especially in these cars where it's hard to get good momentum going again. Super important to be as clean as possible. Like, they can be physical, but you don't want to be too physical. You don't want to be physical to the point where it starts to work against you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, Butler closed right up there. It was dangerous.
Hemstrom looking for a way past Butler, has not found it yet. And Rochelle is pulling away, although she's got a lot to do when it comes to Elliott Barron, 4.5 seconds. So Elliott Barron making the good use of the wingman brigade behind him, and Javi going for third or third.
He's got a decent run up the hill here.
Yeah, but do you want to risk it into the kink?
You know my answer.
That's always the question. Javi's in third place in the championship despite the struggles at Suzuka, so he's got to think about championship position to a certain degree. Can't be in that like all for nothing thing. He's got to fight with Butler and with Ekstrom and company. That he needs to just maximize results here. So as much as he wants to get past AJ Jesse, you don't want to do something highly risky. And Butler is
going to get interesting.
Butler pushing through.
That's good stuff right there.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Although the inside's to Javi. Javi get him on the last turn? He does. Javi thinking ahead of turn. Very nice. I'd clap, but I can't have the mic open and clap at the same time.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. That is great driving, guys. Way to go too wide through the corners and leave space for each other. That was nice.
It's not over yet. Butler and Javi are still side by side coming into the Andretti Hairpin. Let's see here. Can Javi do a... Oh, Javi cannot do a switchback because Hemstrom is there. Oh, no! Oh, little sloppy. Little sloppy.
It's a bummer for Javi.
I think, Javi, you probably should have reported that to the stewards, my friend. I think we might have taken a dim view of that move. But I got no report. So what can I do? I think that was a little... I don't know. What was your thoughts there? I thought Hemstrom got a little nosy.
I mean... It looked that way. I think Javi was a little slow through there, personally.
I think he was kind of caught. He was kind of caught with Butler on his inside, and I don't think he really knew how to correct properly, unfortunately.
Yeah, when you're that wide, you can carry a ton of speed and then get the car pointed down and accelerate back out and almost barely lose any time. And he overslowed, and I think Hemstrom was coming in hot, to stay in the battle. And more of a racing incident, but it would be interesting for a review.
I'll tell you, Elliott Barron and Rochelle Guerin need to give AJ Jesse a big set of flowers, maybe an edible arrangement, because he is holding this pack up. James Butler is finally through. That's Jack Simpson in the mix there in the sort of like paint splatter car. Oh, AJ kind of... I don't know if there was contact there or if he just kind of got...
I didn't see anything, but after holding everybody up, he just let the whole entire train through.
Indeed. So Jack Simpson now fourth place. If anyone can run down the top two, it is Jack Simpson for sure. He's got Dimitri Simeonitis is in there as well. So they finally have made their way to the front. Zach Hemstrom's in the mix there. AJ Jesse, Javi's back in 8th. Then Neo Anderson, Vic Nash. Not a great race for... I wonder what happened to John Picha, because he started on the front row and he's back in 12th place. So that's a bit negative. Jack Simpson looking to the outside here of James Butler. I didn't really think that outside of that turn was really going to work all that well, but we saw Rochelle Guerin get past Butler on the outside of that turn as well. So maybe an overtaking spot that I had previously overlooked a little bit.
I think it depends on if the person you're trying to overtake is aware that you're going outside, and if they're intentionally hold their inside line, it opens up a pretty good exit for you.
Jack Simpson side by side with James Butler through the corkscrew, and they survive. Dimitri Simeonitis also in there, and Simpson is through. So, James, I think that might be the end of your podium hopes, because I'm not sure if you've got anything to come back at Jack Simpson with. And some of that's just the ballast, if we're being honest. Again,
for sure.
Butler is the only ballasted car.
But now he's got Simeonitis and Hemstrom both driving very aggressively here. This will be interesting.
Gentlemen, please do not consider 3 wide in Andretti Hairpin. Please do not consider this.
I have a feeling it's too late.
Demetrius is going through. No, Butler just got a bad run down that straightaway, so that's gonna ease my fears and ease the Greek driver into 4th place.
That was a pretty aggressive lane change under the brakes there from Simeonitis. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
A little bit. It is something. It is something I did include in his report card for possibly to work. Not for that particular incident, but there was an incident. Spoiler later with Rochelle Guerin that I thought was a little bit of an aggressive lane change. So I don't know if it'll actually be on the video.
Yeah, I mean, if you're too wide, you've chosen your line. You know, you got to stay on it.
Wasn't any real contact though, so I mean he got away with it.
No,
Yeah,
it was...
not a great default setting. As it was.
Exactly, that's kind of what I'm saying. Don't get in the habit of that because it will be a disaster at some point.
At some point, it will burn you. Yeah. So let's see here. Simpson is 5 seconds and 4 minutes. I don't think he can make up that ground, but you never know. Rochelle is catching Elliott Barron, so he might get a showdown for the lead. I don't know, 2.5 seconds.
Slowly, though. I don't think she's been closing the gap quick enough.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the area we're talking about. We're probably talking about her needing to take probably not a second. Probably not quite a second, but very close to a second. Javier up on the back of AJ Jesse. We've seen some great defensive driving out of AJ Jesse, so I'd be interested to see how this fight goes. Because, putting on my coach's hat, Javi sometimes struggles to get past slower cars. That's something I'd like to see him work on. So I'm hoping the camera sticks with this for a bit, because I'd like to see what he tries.
Yeah, let's take a look, see what we can figure out.
Because we like AJ Jesse as a defender. I think he does an excellent job without going over the line. In fact, nice move there. Actually, keep the inside line for himself in turn 3. Although, no, don't turn now. Butler got passed by Hemstrom. We're not interested in this. Oh, yeah. You're not even going to something interesting. Javi got the pass done, apparently.
I would have liked to.
Oh no! AJ Jesse came back at him, and I think may have just overcooked it on the brakes, frankly.
Yeah.
So, Javi gets the job done. I would say pretty well. So that was good. You're talking about the sometimes getting held up. He was held up for what, 2-3 corners? It's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean he looked good from what we saw. His line was good. You can see he was setting up him for the next corner if possible. So it looks solid from what we saw.
Looks like we've lost Dixon Hurst from the race, unless you could think of another reason he'd be 3 laps down.
I cannot.
All right, so down to 12. So we got Simeonitis, Simpson. I'm not really sure if I can predict much in the way of action at this point. I think unfortunately we might be in for a slightly boring final 2 minutes. This is not an ideal 2-minute warning, although Simpson has closed the gap to the leader, to Guerin, to less than 4 seconds. But I don't think that's going to be enough of a gap in 2 laps to finalize it. But we can see mistakes.
Without a mistake, there's no way he's going to close that up. I mean, I don't think he's going to close that up.
He was about a second faster in qualifying, and at that rate, he's only going to get that down to about, say, 1.5 seconds, maybe, on the high side.
Well, everything really spread out here, didn't it?
Well, again, we saw that spread out qualifying, and once people kind of got rid of the reverse gridders, it was going to kind of spread out a little bit.
Yeah, luckily there's only a minute left, and we get to do it all over again.
Another not a great result for Zach Hemstrom. Got taken out by either took himself out or got taken out by Butler. Couldn't really make it out from the replay we had there on lap 1. And has recovered to a pretty solid 5th place. And to be honest, with the championship lead he's got, this is all he really needs. But this being the last race of no ballast, I have to imagine he was hoping for more.
Yeah, plus, again, I know points are one thing, but you still want the wins. He's a hyper-competitive guy, obviously. He
is a hyper-competitive guy, because I have discussed the whole champion's mindset with it. He's like, no, I'm going for the win.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, there's nothing wrong with that. He's got... If you have the possibility to do it, he was in great position. He had the pace. Of course, you're going to go for it.
Absolutely. I'm not saying don't... for the record, I'm not saying don't go for the win. I mean, winning races is generally key to a championship, but sometimes the mark of a champion in a lot of series is being able to take, being able to know when you're not really going to get that position. You're not going to get that extra spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not even going for the win. I mean, you can be in second, third, fourth, just overshooting it. A couple of weeks ago, I just lost concentration and threw away a race, sitting up on the podium, just being dumb.
You don't really want to end up being Juan Montoya, frankly, who, F1 fans, of course, know is probably one of the better drivers never to win a championship. A guy who had tons and tons of pace and everything, but had like a catalog of just bad ideas over the course of his career.
Yeah, I mean, first 2 seasons, you're trying things out, you're learning, you make some mistakes. After that, hopefully you've kind of settled into a groove.
A quick congratulations has to be given to Elliott Barron. That was his first Academy victory.
Hey, so congrats, Elliott.
Got the job done. Rochelle second, Jack Simpson third, Simeonitis, Hemstrom, Butler. Javi may not be done yet, so I'll refrain from cursing him. Just trying to get it here. Not really sure why we're being shown Toby and John. These two cars are in fact finished the race, so I'm not really sure why the camera's on them.
Toby's going for that look I like.
The squashed front end.
I love it. Improves the BMW front end.
The pug nose car.
You can't make the BMWs any worse looking on their front. That's for sure.
I mean, BMW did really well at the Enduro race the other day there. So,
yeah, I saw.
Right there. Neo Anderson with his first Academy points. Congratulations, Neo. He'll start on second row, so that'll be good. Vic Nash will be the pole sitter for race. Oh, whoa, Toby.
Sure that they're done, because the AI wouldn't do that.
I had thought they were done because they crossed the line with 0 seconds left.
Oh, but, look at there it is.
Vic again. Vic, we got to talk about this, Vic. I know you're going for style points with Riccobene, but
yeah, dude,
finishing the car with the race with an intact car would possibly help you out.
I hope he starts the next race and just rams into the wall immediately, just so I can watch him.
Well, he'll be starting from pole, so let's hope not. Indeed, there are the results. It'll be Vic Nash and Neo Anderson. Let me know if you had that in your front row poll for a race here.
I'm not gonna lie, that was not my choice.
AJ Jesse starts third, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Javi's on row 2, so go Javi.
All right, Javi is going to podium this race. I'm telling you.
All right, we got a podium call for Javi Perez Torres. Here we go.
Don't let me down, Javi.
I do think. I mean, just looking at it, Javi starting from P4. It's a great place to be. Jack Simpson's further back. Rochelle's further back. Simeonitis further back. So it's a great opportunity. He's in the Zach Hemstrom spot from race 2, but I mean, it didn't pan out for Zach. So will it pan out for Javi? And the camera's on Javi right away. All right, here we go. Whoa, bit of an aggressive move there by AJ Jesse. Bad start from Vic Nash. He's lost the lead already to Neo Anderson. AJ Jesse's through. Javi's on the inside into third place. Vic got a little bit of the sand there, so his tires probably are not great right now. Jack Simpson's had a fantastic start and is already up past Javi. Jack Simpson's up to third. Jack Simpson's up to second.
He's gone.
He makes the move on AJ Jesse. Neo Anderson
Hemstrom through.
Hemstrom through as well. Oh,
we got some carnage there.
Butler backwards. So AJ Jesse in third place. Zach Hemstrom behind him. Neo Anderson still in the lead. Now, as long as Neo keeps Simpson behind him, everyone else has a hope. So everybody, at this point, has to be a massive cheering section for Neo Anderson. Because if Simpson gets past Anderson, he is gone.
Yeah, we saw his pace. It's not gonna. You think it's gonna take him in the court?
I wouldn't try it in the corkscrew. I think there's better options, but he's going for it.
He's going for it.
Neo's kind of let him have it. In fairness, they're going too wide through the corkscrew. Neo still got it.
Oh, that was so risky on Simpson's part. So risky. Why would you take that chance when you know you got the pace? I know he's behind you, but
Javi Perez Torres getting into it with Zach Hemstrom. Couldn't get past, though. AJ Jesse still in third place. Where's Rochelle? Rochelle's in 7th. Elliott's in 6th. Simeonitis has had a bad start. He's down in 10th.
Look, Jack, see how much easier that was?
Indeed. Simpson to the lead. No Sleep Jamaica. Neo Anderson in 2nd place. Followed by AJ Jesse. Followed by Zach Hemstrom. Javier Perez Torres, Elliot Barron in the mix there. There's Rochelle at the background. Vic Nash in 8th place. There is Zach getting past AJ. Can AJ come back? No. I don't think he can. No,
Javi's still in position for that podium.
Indeed. Depends on how Neo Anderson can affect things here. You got AJ Jesse and Neo Anderson. These are the two corks in the bottle, kind of effectively. The two out of position cars. They're recording themselves very well, though. AJ did last race, too, so congratulations to AJ. Javi is through on AJ.
Yes.
So Zach Hemstrom is in a green car sandwich. And in the meantime, Rochelle Guerin... Oh, Elliot Barron's dropping back, so something happened to Elliot. He's down to 11th.
Hemstrom's going to go into the corkscrew, and he needs to because Simpson's 3 seconds up already.
Yeah, but can he ever even catch Simpson? Like, that's the problem. Whoa, Neo is out of control. No.
No. Oh.
Didn't hit anybody, I don't think.
I don't know how that happened.
Indeed. All right. Well, Javi up to 3rd. AJ Jesse, Rochelle Guerin, your top 5. Vic Nash looking to make a move. So Vic's coming back after that really unimpressive start. And Simeonitis is banging wheels with him. John Peach in the mix as well. Oh, little contact between Rochelle and AJ. Gets the job done. Not the cleanest pass, for sure.
That's the old Travis Wallace school of passing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, well, Rochelle's art of the overtake is definitely something that is still a work in progress. Her motocross skills do not really translate to clean overtakes all that well.
That would explain a lot, actually.
She was actually having a conversation with me the other night about how, like, the dirt around the track actually kind of screws her up. It puts her in moto mode. It was an interesting thought. I don't know how valid it is, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but...
As well. I mean, I don't know, I guess. I guess having not been, I've been on a dirt bike in my life, but never having, done a motocross event or anything, I have no experience to pull from. I know that Sebastian Loeb once said when he was being interviewed for WTCC, when he was giving the World Touring Cars a shot, that he did find certain tracks more trying to remember the word he used, more mesmerizing than others. Because of course, Sebastian Loeb, great rally driver, changing to more conventional racing was a particularly big moment for him. As Elliot Barron gets around John Peach into 8th place. I still don't know what happened to Elliot, so it'd be interesting if Elliot could throw that out there. What happened to him? Because he dropped back after being in I think it was 6th place. So much for Neo Anderson getting a great result. He's down to 12th now, after that spin in the corkscrew. Still have no idea how he didn't kill anybody.
I know, that is amazing. And Vic needs to fix his front end.
No, Vic. Keep it, Vic. Keep it that way. Don't show off the undercarriage. It's indecent. Dixon Hurst and John Peach, I think they've been battling in all 3 races, if I'm not mistaken. I've got a phone call.
2 good guys. Just did some KTM Expo with them. Fun car. Academy guys, if you're looking for a series, I highly recommend it.
Unknown number. I'm not answering that. Here we go. Jack Simpson is caught up. Hey, when did Hemstrom overtake Simpson?
I have no idea.
Well,
Neither one of us was paying attention.
That's a thing. Well, apparently the camera wasn't paying attention. Rochelle Guerin and Javi P. This is a pretty age-old rivalry that we really haven't seen much of lately because of Javi's technical difficulties. And, AJ! Ooh, that's the second time AJ's had a real hard time with that last turn. So, he needs to work on that a little bit. Oh,
it's surprisingly easy to lose the rear end exiting that section.
This is Javi losing a spot to Rochelle. We didn't get a good view of that, though. What happened there?
I think Javi needs some work through that
the hairpin
corner. Come on, Javi.
Because all we caught there was just Rochelle zipping past him. I have no idea what happened there.
Simpson looking for a way back.
Hemstrom's still holding him, though. And we're entering the Kink and Corkscrew sections where overtakes are a little risky. But Jack Simpson's been willing to risk it for the biscuit. So now Javi's got a new problem, and its name is Demetrius Simeonitis, who's making a mark as a man to watch for in the academy in the second half of the season.
For sure. He's a good driver. He's got plenty of speed.
Let's see what he can do here against Javi. AJ Jesse's still in 6th place. He's having a fantastic race. So Vic Nash has been relegated by Elliott Barron. So AJ may be in some trouble there because we did see Elliott win race 2, so we know he's got some pace.
Simeonitis going up the inside.
Nah, I don't think he had the. I don't think he just had the room there, frankly. Good try though. That turn.
He's going to go for it here, though.
That turn is a pretty prime overtaking zone, but yeah, here we are. This is the Andretti Hairpin. This is where we've seen Javi struggle. So, inside line to Demetrius. Come on, Javi. Come on, Javi. Oh. Yeah, he's not handling that. He's not handling the Andretti Hairpin side by side very well at all.
No, if you're going to give the inside, I mean, if it's me, if I'm going to give the inside lineup, I'm just going to run deeper around the outside so I can get a faster exit. Yeah. But he's running the same tighter left, and it's just crushing him.
Or at the very least to ensure that you have the inside line to turn 3.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You want to make sure that you can run deeper, get the car pointed, and accelerate before they can, so that you're back on the side of them.
So Jack Simpson's still behind Hemstrom.
Simpson using a lot of track there.
Indeed, well, it's the Kink. You use a lot there. All right, Corkscrew. At least this time we don't have a heart attack moment here because they're not close enough together to go side by side. Oh, Simeonitis has gotten past Guerin. Okay, so that was the moment I was talking about. It didn't wind up being a penalty, but it is in the recap video that I'm going to upload, or that is uploaded. I just haven't posted a link to it yet. Where Simeonitis did do something that I would suggest not doing, even if it's not a penalty, and got the spot for Guerin. It was a little bit of a cheeky contact.
I'm curious to take a look.
It was in the vein of that the lane changes we were talking about. So, a little bit of refinement to the racecraft of Demetrius Simeonitis.
That's fair enough.
Perfectly fine. This is the
academy. Well, we're at the academy.
And he's improved drastically from Suzuka to this race. I honestly, I'm very excited for him to see what he does at Brands Hatch with some more time to further refine his abilities.
Yeah, plus I know he's eager to pick up some pointers and tips from the coaches. I know he's one of the guys who's asking for a lot of action.
It is nice. It is nice to see. Yeah. We're going to need some more coaches.
Yeah, I know.
If you would like to be an ESR coach, please just let me know. The time requirement is totally up to you. You can handle one driver or multiple drivers, whatever suits your schedule. So we're always on the lookout for some help. So Jack Simpson's still prowling on the tail of Hemstrom. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten past him, to be honest with you. The pace advantage Simpson's had over everybody all day long.
Yeah, it certainly is a little surprising. I hope they stay on this battle for a minute. I'd like to see what's happening.
Not that there's not other interesting things. Simeonitis and Guerin and Perez are still quite close together. Still a pretty good fight going on there. Ooh, was that a block from Hemstrom?
It was interesting. I mean, the inside line is the normal round, but he did seem to kind of tighten up a little bit more than normal.
Well, Simpson's gotten through. And admittedly, one would think Simpson might do a little bit of a disappearing act now.
Unless Henstrom is able to watch and learn and figure out, where he has this extra pace.
Well, I mean, Hemstrom also pretty good lap. 34 flat is very solid in these cars around this track. I think the top leaderboard time is only like a 33 something, so only a couple tenths off. And Hemstrom has found himself doing some things. James Butler versus John Picha. Is there a more classic battle?
Yeah, right.
Dixon Hurst in the background. AJ Jesse has fallen down to 11th, so that's quite disappointing. He must have had a moment. I like that camera angle.
I was just going to say the same thing. That was awesome.
Oh, Butler's on the inside heading to the corkscrew.
I remember sending off a fellow commentary guy right there once.
I remember it well.
I take no responsibility for it.
Lies. Totally your fault.
Is that Picha?
John Picha. Yeah, that's John. Now, that's a spot to Dixon Hurst and James Butler for Picha. Down to 9th place he goes with 2 laps to go. So Ken
Hemstrom holding on.
I mean, he's hanging on, but hanging on and being able to get back past him are two very different things. As Dixon Hurst goes down the inside of Butler into the Andretti Hairpin, but seems to think better of it, frankly.
Yeah, Butler really closed up there.
So James Butler, 100 kilos of extra ballast, fighting like a dog for 7th place against Dixon Hurst. And James will be getting some ballast relief, I think, for Brands Hatch. So
yeah, that'd be nice. I think he could use a little relief.
Well, I mean, we were saying Hemstrom was hanging on, but that gap has grown to 1.8 seconds, which is about a difference of like a full second on this lap. So
yeah, chances are he was, driving a little above his normal, trying to figure out where to go faster, and probably just lost it through one of the corners.
Could be. Looks like Simeonitis has ended the fight with Garin, and Perez Torres has fallen back. So not really much action in the top 5. It's really just Elliott Barron here going for Javi's spot. Top 5. Come on, Javi.
Hold it.
Defend. Barron going. Don't let him have the outside. Come on. Don't. No. Barron's through. But Javi's got the inside into the Andretti Hairpin if he wants it.
This will be the first time I've seen Javi on the inside, so this will be interesting.
All right, can he get it done? Because Javi has been weak in this Andretti Hairpin. And I can't say Barron's been like especially good at it, but he won race 2, so he's got to have... Oh, come on, Javi. Come on, Javi. That's a little frustrating.
Well, right. Good thing is we know where we can find some time for Javi at Laguna.
Definitely the case. The Andretti Hairpin is Javi's enemy.
Don't tell his rivals.
Well, they know now. We've got like 12 weeks before we're back here, so I mean, plenty of time to work on it. So Jack Simpson is your race winner, I do believe, from Hemstrom, Simeonitis, Garin, Barron, Perez Torres, Butler, Hurst, Picha, Nash, Jesse, Anderson bringing up the rear. So a little bit of a disappointing result there for I believe Toby Howard's out of the race. And the battle continues between Elliott, Barron, and Javi. So they are not done yet. I was mistaken in that statement.
This is going to the line.
And Javi's gotten the spot back. I'd be interested to see where he did it. And if it's in the corkscrew, the cojones on Javi Perez Torres. All right, Javi, the good news is you don't have to go through the Andretti Hairpin again.
Yeah, right.
And he does have it. So Javi with a nice 5th place finish here to round off
nice
the Laguna Seca round. This is his secondary home track. He is technically closer to Sonoma, where he lives, but it's Dixonhurst with a pretty good
Sonoma. I despise that place.
John Picha bringing up 9th place, and then Vic Nash gets the last point in 10th. So, and there you go. Someone did your
Thank you.
your luck. There you go.
Much appreciated, AJ.
AJ Jesse with the missing parts of the car. There is your final results. Neo fell down a lap there, which is a little disappointing there. Yeah, 33.5 fastest lap for Jack Simpson. The only person in the 33s aside from him is Demetrius, who did 33.9.
Nice. Impressive showing from Demetrius.
Indeed, Demetrius, very solid effort. It's a candidate for driver of the day.
Yeah, 2 podiums, right?
Along with Jack Simpson, and I'll throw Elliott Barron's name into the list as well.
See, that's a problem when you're as fast as Simpson, though. You expect that.
True, but still, a triple podium is still quite hard to do.
Great drive.
So, excellent work. And that first lap of race 3. Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that was sweet driving.
Quick championship rundown. Zach Hemstrom leads the way with 280 points to Rochelle Guerin's 252. Javi at 153. 3 points ahead of Jack Simpson. I think your time in the top 3 is coming to an end, Javi. I do think that is possibly the case.
Yeah.
Jack Simpson's been driving. James Butler, 5th on 144. Daniel Hernandez, who is absent, on 100. And the penalty king, Gustav Ekstrom, 40 points lost to penalties, 7th place. He would be in 5th place if he just didn't take penalties.
That is so many penalties.
Liam Curtin, 8th. Demetrius Simeonitis, 9th. John Picha in 10th. Elliott Barron, 11th. Douglas DeGroat, Joel Wilstein, Scott Greenfield, Vic Nash, Dixon Hurst, Toby Howard, AJ Jesse, Justin Kratz, Neo Anderson, Jonas Blaine, and Yuri Nikolai. The only man with negative points on the season, Yuri Nikolai. Is your
Congratulations.
car field. I mean, you got to be known for something, I guess. All right. So you have any regards on Ballast or what we saw today? Your chance to have a little coach's moment.
No, actually, I say it every time I do one of these broadcasts, but the driving's getting better and better. I mean, a lot of really good passes today. As far as Ballast is concerned, obviously Simpson's going to have to get hammered. And I think you're going to have to say it's so hard to say because, Simeonitis is quick now. You have Ballast for show, but how do you slow Simpson down without affecting the other drivers? Not giving them enough ballast.
I believe I was talking with Mike Stockmill, and we were thinking that there's probably 4 drivers who need some ballast. That's Ekstrom, who has ballast and has proven the ability to win races with ballast. So I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. That one stays. And obviously Simpson needs some. Hemstrom's been super quick pretty much everywhere we've been. And then James Butler, we're talking about relieving his ballast, but probably will retain some of it. He's an absolute veteran compared to the rest of these guys. So got to keep that into account as well. Also, we're here to work on James's racecraft, so giving him that handicap forces him to be a little cleaner, a little bit more efficient with his overtaking. So we'll probably retain some weight on him. I'm thinking probably 100 for Gustav and Jack, and then 75 for Zach and 50 for Butler is, I think, the working theory as far as the ballast is concerned right now.
It's interesting. I'll be curious to see how it pans out. We know that the ballast is only so effective on this car.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's only so much you can do, so it's worth a shot. Maybe you should make the ballast, adjustable for the rest of the season.
Might be able to adjust somewhat, but there's really only so much you can do. There's only so much you could try, frankly. Anyways, Jack Simpson, great race today. You showed some great overtakes, and I think this will be your first and probably final season in the academy. I think you're ready to get your diploma.
That's a safe call.
And we'll keep an eye on everybody else and figure out where they fit into the whole system, whether they'll be back for another run next season or whether it's their time to get that diploma.
There's definitely a couple of graduates sitting up there, I think.
And join the likes of Wayne Hutchison and Josiah Jerome and Nathan Edward, Adele Foucali, and of course probably our one of our most promising graduate, Christopher Streppen.
Yeah, I didn't realize he even ran through the academy.
He did. It was a short stay, admittedly, but he was there.
I would have kicked him out of there pretty quick myself.
So we'll see you next round at Brands Hatch, which is the Redux. I have put up the video primer for that track, talking about overtaking opportunities. And there's really only 2 good ones. Yeah. So if you need any time with the coaches, please hit us up. And if you need, if you're interested in helping out with the academy, even like not as an entrant, please let us know as well. So for Mike Magas and Paul Riccobene, that is our broadcast for today.